universal IO combo to super and FY. And then, like you said, it's going to come down to a bit of musical lanes, how the early game actually proceeds. Because for those unfamiliar with the matchup, Tide is actually really good against Brood. We saw it a lot in late 2012, early 2013. It was kind of the Hannah Montana matchup for Complex. Played this so much where they would go Tide in the safe lane 1v1, and that would create tremendous opportunities where they would be able to just anchor smash down those spiders. But if, for example...
Prepare for battle.
Oh yeah. But the question is where the mind games stop, because essentially, like, if you expect Ice to go for the traditional offlane role on the Broodmother, you want to put the Tide there. But if then Vici predict that, they're probably going to go ahead and just get the webs down on the top rune spawn, as Ice generally does, and make their move up top with him if they find that to be the best opportunity. So we'll see just a ward come down for now, and 500 gold saved up while they break down some trees as well. And we'll see how well they look to control this jungle. But for right now, it's going to be all eyes on Ice as well as Yoki in their early game. And like you said, they did have quite a few options here. The Darkseer, the Tide, and I'll also mention his Sand King would have been a pretty good pickup against the Brood directly. We saw that matchup a little bit with Caustic and Sandstorm. But talk to me about the Tide a little bit. Other than being good against the Brood, is there anything in particular that you like about the pickup here?
The battle begins.
So Ice does have a web down here, so he's going to be able to make a quicker rotation down bottom, but he's really looking for the 1v3 matchup. As odd as it is to say, he really wants to be up against 3 heroes instead of 1. He wants to leave the Tide into like a 1v2 situation and have the Brood just go into 1v3. We're going to see some damage here on mid. FY, of course, he got the early bounty rune, so that gets him the instant bottle, and they're going to put some direct damage into Resolution, try to limit his early Necromastery stacks. Yeah. Oh. And we're just going to see up top, Yoki actually might go down here. The spin coming out from Hal, you can't anchor smash that. And they're actually just going to kill him off outright with the Earth Spike and the Blade Fury. So, first blood spill by Hal. Great start for them. And I'm curious where the Tide goes now. Does he try to rotate to address the Brood directly? Or does he go back to the offlane and hope that he can get boots out sooner rather than later? Oh, glimpse out of range. They're gonna waste the dust. Oh, that's so unfortunate. They get the dust of course connecting on Ice, but since they can't get in range for the glimpse, they're just gonna take harassment damage here from the spiders. They can't really return, and yeah, this is gonna be a very frustrating lane for them.
Too bad fate.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And one thing to note is actually the Juggernaut did pick up a Sage's Mask. So you're talking about the early phase boots. It looks like he'll still go for that. But is he going for like a Soul Ring build here, or just a more common Ring of Aquila? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they still have this dust, of course, and now the Sentry Ward is placed down. This glimpse could be a key factor in setting up a Slithering Crush. They're going to see him in the side low, and they need the Electric Vortex. They need Ancient Apparition to be level 2 if they're going to find Ice. He's just playing them right now like a fiddle. He's reading them like a book. He knows how they're going to move in this lane, and he's just going to frustrate them by staying in the trees. They can try to quell this down all they want. They're going to very...
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yep, good pickup here. If they can find it, they don't have a kinetic, they're going to have to go for the glimpse. Oh, the last right click will still do the trick here with that chilling touch, just doing enough. So, in the end, it's a 1-for-1 across the map. Obviously, the Shadow Fiend kill is a bigger one, though. I mean, at this point now, Ice has a better idea of where the sentries are, and he's going to be able to position himself appropriately on the lane. Does have to watch for a glimpse send back. Like, if you TP'd, like, right to the front, Loa Dance would go for a glimpse play, but Ice wisely just TPs to the tier 2 and doesn't risk that at all. And spin up top here, we're going to see some big damage coming to Yoki, and he is going to be hit by 2 spells coming for that line. First, the Air Spike, instantly taken off by the Kraken Shell, but still he'll fall. It is going to be a 1-for-1, though, as we see 139 gold distributed to all Radiant heroes as the line does get taken down post-mortem. Yeah. It's been actually pretty common with this tournament. Just perfect world audio connectivity has not been ideal. We're doing the best we can, guys, but hopefully the reconnect does fix that issue. And if he does reconnect and you still don't hear him, maybe try toggling your audio channel. Just switch up the broadcaster channel from one caster set to another, and once you get back to us, you should be able to hear him once again. I mean, right now, Ice is going to start to build traction on the bottom lane. It's not the best laning configuration for him, but he still found his level 5. So at this point, Brood, at the worst case, can just rotate in the jungle and find farm there. And he does have that soul ring as well. He does have to play a little cautiously because the Ice Vortex, I mean, the Ancient Apparition is now level 2 and wants to try to make the most of it. But all the same, I think most of the pressure is going to be actually here on mid. Nice Observer Ward here, placed out by Resolution himself, is actually going to keep him safe from Fenrir's rotation.
And now I see stuff happening. Oh, mid lane, Resolution.
Ooh, yeah. Super is going to be dropping really low here. The FY bottle going to keep him healed up quite a bit, but still, he's got to turn his Bristle back and set up Fenrir for killing Resolution. It's going to be Anchor Smash to kill the Bristle, while the Earth Spike brings down the SF. So
they did get bottom lane too, so they got Ice as well, and Silence almost level 5. Aloha Dance is level 4. This is when it starts to become really good. Crush, he doesn't have Crush, so these spiders are just gnawing at Aloha.
Run. Might actually kill him. He's going to be dropping very low. He'll try to tango, try to kinetic, but they'll make it through. Oh. They'll get the kill. That is a huge kill for Brood, and I believe he will actually get a majority of the experience for that, thanks to the fact that he got the kill credit. So he won't get the AoE experience bounty, but he'll get the standard experience bounty, and that's plenty for Ice moving in towards his level 6. But I actually really like the strat coming up from Silent here, essentially a lumberjack strat, where he just keeps on quelling the tree line and enabling his allies to do more with their sentry wards.
This is just looking, I want to say it's looking very good for VG on the sense of they're really putting Resolution in a bad spot mid lane, and they're also shutting down the Tide Hunter. So 2 of their big cores are going to be shut down here. So I would say VG definitely coming out ahead on this early phase, but still feeding over the levels to the Slardar. And when you're against the Broodmother, this is looking really good, I want to say, for the bottom lane a little bit, until I see Always Want to Fly dying to the spiders. Oh no, this is just so annoying to play against.
Yeah, and I think even bigger pickup here is actually going to be the Ancients on the Radiant side here. They already warded them up, but now with level 3 Bristleback, it looks like they want to actually just take them for themselves, and Bill Spray's going to keep stacking up here, and despite the Ancient Granite Golem's aura, these guys are falling pretty quickly. So not only getting the kill in the Ancient Apparition, which is just something you expect from a Brood, once the lane
just get from all
devolves,
that?
Super just exploded in farm. He's actually pulled ahead. He has a 700 net worth advantage over the Shadow Fiend, and that's all the Tide's gold down the drain as well. It's not just gold for Vici, it's gold taken away from Empire's coffers.
Man, looking at the levels now, Slardar level 5, How is level 8 here. So Silent versus How. Oh man, this is just very scary territory. He can't even really stay up here alone. It's going to be hard to even find kills on the Juggernaut too. They really need to have the Blink Dagger on Silent as soon as possible. I mean, the Glimpse isn't even useful anymore, obviously, because you have Blade Fury, and he actually is maxing Blade Fury. Notice that.
Yeah, I've seen this a little bit more commonly. People are realizing that that value point isn't so valuable just at level 1 anymore, and people are finding more potential in the extra damage, the lower mana cost, the lower cooldown of the higher ranks in Blade Fury. Now, that's not to say that the stats build is dead, but I generally only see it when you have a Magnus on your team. You can benefit from your agility more so because of the Empower. But still, he'll go for the Mask of Madness. At least that will be something consistent with the previous patch. And we're actually going to see a pretty key Invis pickup here. A crush into amp damage, and yeah, that's going to be one dead line. Could go for a double Earth Spike. Can't even get the spell cast off before Aloha Dance brings him down. So really nice pickup there. But you'll note that in the meantime, this is going to be Ice 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 just taking full control of the lane. He's going down bottom, creep cutting past, and Yoki can't get in a position where he can anchor smash these spiders down. So, and in the meantime as well, Super's finding another Ancient stack. I'll just have to keep an eye on his net worth because this is just going to be him getting so much farm so quickly. He's got a Vanguard already.
Yeah, he stole 2 stacks already. Like, okay, so the other one was quad stacked, and this one was, I think, I don't know if it was double or triple.
Triple, I think.
But so yeah, that's a huge amount of gold coming into his income. He's still 400 gold behind the Juggernaut. So even though he's getting farm, he still isn't keeping up with the boss on his side of the team. So we'll see what happens though. These 2 cores, I mean, Resolution has to find some farm. He is farming the jungle effectively here. He just finished off a stack, but he only has treads, and yeah, this is just not looking good at all for Empire, I want to say right now.
Yeah, Ice is Ice really microing well too. Putting just one spider on Tide to get that debuff, that poison hitting him so they can bring him a little bit low. And actually, Aloha Dance now going to be caught in a really weird spot here. He could go for a Sentry War play, maybe jeopardizing Ice Ice Ice. There will be a Ravage coming out. A relocate inside the Static Storm Kinetic Field is going to be the death of Ice Ice Ice, but they will kill Resolution at the same time. Silent gets a nice 2-man crush, and FY can't save the day. In fact, might die himself, barely gets the relocate out, and will be sent home. Super looking to finish off Yoki, can't close the distance, and in the meantime, up top, there is going to be the kill on the Ancient Apparition. A simple Omni Slash, and How finds a tower as well as a solo kill. So overall, across the map, looking really good for Vici Gaming. Obviously, the big deal there is the Ravage was committed for that fight, and they still kind of break even.
Yeah, the good thing though is that, as you're saying, Ravage was committed, but still, he's almost got his Blink Dagger now. So this is really good for Yoki. That's the thing back into the game. Him having Blink Dagger as well as Silent. So they're both, I want to say, at good pace. 10-minute Blink Daggers are not too bad, considering how well VG did in this early game stage, rotating their lanes around and whatnot.
I actually want to correct that. Omni Slash was not used, so he's going to have an opportunity to use it right here onto the Ancient Apparition. Going in deep, quick Omni. No, it will be interrupted as he loses line of sight, so he'll have to spin for it and go for the TP as well. Always Want to Fly will survive. How will make it safely back home as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sure.
Radiant's bottom
But yeah,
tower
so I assume that the Juggernaut had used the to get the solo kill on the Ancient Apparition, but it just turns out he's just with the phase boots able to run his opponent down. Now he has Mask of Madness, so we're going to see some opportunities for him to farm and to fight without even using that ultimate. And when he, of course, has the ultimate, it's going to be that much more powerful. But look at this while you're disconnected. We're going to see a very early Roche skirmish here. Super and How already in the pit, but without any healing ward. If How was level 10, I think this would be so much easier. But up top, we're going to see a relocate play, bringing down Ancient Apparition quickly. It's just the Lion and the Wisp, but that's space creation, so they can go for this Roche.
Oh, they have vision of Ice Ice Ice. They know where he is, but they were pinging it out. Yep, 1 raise, 2 raise. Ice 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 will be going down, I think, but still they will get Roshan in the end here. Maybe not. Ice Ice Ice. Does the Sentry not? No, this just Sentry doesn't give vision.
Nope, it did for a moment, but now he's going to try to juke away, dying to the Static Storm. FY with the heals! Bottle sips a Magic Stick, almost keeps him up, but Silent does bring him down in the end. Now Super with the Aegis, moving forward onto Aloha Dance, does get Glimpse back. Really key Glimpse coming out there. In the meantime, though, the Juggernaut was able to just Omni Slash on the Shadow Fiend, finding an easy pick for himself. So, all in all, Vici Gaming still looking really good. They're kind of out of mana right now, but they have the Aegis, and they have the kill advantage. They are going to be able to start split pushing 2 lanes at once.
Yeah, finally Always Want to Fight getting the level 6. If they could have had this a long time ago, it could have helped. He doesn't even have boots.
Yeah, it's on the court right now.
He's very poor to say the least this game, but now that that's online, they can really effectively deal with the Bristleback IO combination that's healing, as well as the healing ward too. So it, as you said, picked it up at level 10. It's online now. They have a lot of healing potential, but I mean, Bristleback still with AA Blast on him. He's going to be taking a lot of damage here, but he's got a Crimson Guard at 12 minutes and an Aegis. He's just immortal.
Yeah, he is a pretty cool guy, doesn't afraid of anything. He's just so damn tanky, and with the Wisp behind him, he really doesn't have anything to fear. I mean, obviously, you'd want a mechanism on top of that to just be truly immortal, but at this point, he does have potential to withstand pretty much anything. Full Ravage and an Ice Blast while you're getting caught inside, like a Kinetic Field or a Crush is what would be required to even have a chance of bringing you down, and most likely in that situation, FY just makes a sacrificial play and relocates him out. So that's a perfectly worthy trade to waste those ultimates and then just to get out anyways. And there's really not enough to counteract the defensive relocates right now. Like Glimpse can break the tether, but that's delayed, and unless the starter is like perfect with a Blink Crush, it's more likely the Wisp just sends the target home.
Yeah, you have to. It's going to be on Yoki, I think, more so with his Ravages, maybe perfectly timing it when the relocate.
Oh, and they're going to go ahead and relocate right on the bottom. There's going to be a Requiem coming out doing good damage to Hal, but he's still going to stand and fight it, and he will be able to bring him down with the Omni Slash. So the Ice Blast going to be off the mark, and that is just a huge kill. I mean, SF did get baited in a little bit there. He's like, oh, free spiders for me. I'll take about 150 gold, and then immediately they take that back from his pocket. So we're going to see a mid Hex come out on a fly, or just there a spike, and nuking him down quickly. Unfortunate for the lowly 800 net worth Ancient Apparition.
I mean, this is just VG outmaneuvering Empire in the early stages of the game. Now in the mid stages, it's really hard for them. I think they just have to kind of sacrifice their lanes. Maybe smoke gank top or something. It's not ideal to just keep staying mid. You can't fight into this.
And Bristleback gets the tower!
I mean, he can't die, so this is like no point in being here. Silent's going to be stunned up and just going to be taken down. It's just, oh man.
Yeah, it seems like they're tilting right now. I mean, they're going and sprinting right next to the Lion, then he immediately goes down to 2 spells. And, yeah, free tower, 2 free kills. At this point, just tanking up the tower with the healing ward, they're perfectly fine to go that route. The Bristleback won't help against the tower, but the damage block from the Crimson Guard will. So they're still going to be able to bring this down without really losing much HP. And now it's all on the Blink Daggers, really. It's all on Slardar and Tide to make one huge Blink play with the Ice Blast on top.
Middle tower has fallen.
I mean, yes, they do still have a lot of AoE comeback mechanics for Empire. It's just they're going to slowly get dwindled. Once BKBs come out from VG, then Empire's lineup is completely useless. Like, you can BKB off the Slardar's ultimate, so if you just save it to the after then, that's all their physical DPS gone. Resolution shut down so hard he doesn't even have a mechanism at 16 minutes in the game. Ice is definitely taking over the jungle. He's taking all the creeps from them, and it's just nowhere they can farm safely because you're against this Wisp lineup. You're against this Broodmother who's obviously stealing all your farm, and it's just no bueno right now.
Definitely. Now I'm looking at this build from Ice, and considering his options, obviously Necronomicon is a pretty common pickup on the Broodmother. It just enables that push that much more. Actually, Fender going to get picked. Nice crush play, and the neutrals will not deny him. So
okay, if he had gotten... The neutrals would have denied him if he didn't get that bash.
Exactly. That bash was key. Very, very key. So... good find, though. I mean, finding that opportunity using the Blink Dagger, like I mentioned. But talk to me about this Broodmother Necro. Obviously, it's a pretty standard pickup for Brood in general, but compare that to the Dagon alternative. Since they're kind of snowballing so hard, do you think the extra nuke damage would have been more valuable, or is the Necro the more reliable way to go?
I kind of like Dagon against these two supports of Empire, kind of squishy and stuff. Necro is just like, we're going to split push you kind of to death, right? So you have Jug. You can always put into different lanes. You can put Ice bottom lane, get a Rax, and then put your other 4 heroes mid. And if something goes south, you can always relocate on bottom lane. You can relocate around the map, anywhere. So I guess they want to play this more split push game than we're just going to burst you down heavily.
Alright, and let's just look at raw HP right now. We're not really seeing all that much. 830 on Aloha Dance's Disruptor, 700 on the Ancient Apparition. Like, these guys will go down to pretty much anything. Just a light breeze will knock them over. We're gonna see Ice Blast come out, but they don't really have the follow-up to lock them down. No, Silent finds the crush! They follow it up with the Ravage, there's the Static Storm, and the Glimpse will, will fail! The tether breaks! And FY sends himself home. Now they glimpse back Fenrir, and they will bring him down as well. FY, the last target, making it a 4-man wipeout. And this is the mistake they're looking for. This is the comeback. A beautiful TP coming in from Silent, blinking perfectly for the 2-man crush, and following up with everything they need to wipe them out.
Off over here by Ice, though. They will manage to get 1 kill back, but Oh, well, will they? Silence over here. Is he hunting? Oh, he's going into the sentry. He's going into the sentry. Silence actually in trouble himself.
Yeah, danger zone right here. It's going to be Ice to connect with this last hit from the spawn spiderlings. And now it looks like Ice will just try to make a run for it. Under the sentry ward, though, they'll get him in the kinetic field. No, he'll juke to the side. And he'll just pop the ultimate. Going in, Aloha Dance going to be nuked down by the spiders. And then Ice walks away from there. So if there's one saving grace, it's the fact that Ice just can fight pretty much on anything but 5 heroes. Like, he goes in, if an ultimate or two is down...
He's 1v5ing them right now. Ice God
1v3 easy.
Blink,
Ice Blast. Oh, I would have dodged the Ice Blast too. And now we're going to see the Omni Slash bring Yoki very low, living with 80 HP. Oh my, the bounce is back to the creep wave.
Man, I don't even know what I'm watching anymore. But that last team fight, though, it was like a 4,000... No, it's like a 6,000 gold swing back for the side of Empire. And they are definitely not out of it. When I was talking about BKBs, too, if they can get some BKBs on their 2 cores for Empire, they can look to really kite the other BKBs coming out from VG's side. So holding off into their own BKBs is always good as well. And maybe they can get that dream initiation again, because that was the dream on 2 cores. And the biggest play was the Wisp tether. He walked out of the tether range, so it broke. That's the worst part. Like, he could have stayed there, but it was just a little bit of misplay.
I think actually he might have just hit his Q a second time, and that would have gone for
I thought he might have walked out of range. It's either one or the other.
Okay,
so.
Yeah, it broke prematurely for no other reason.
Right.
So I believe it was on the West there, where FY just hit his tether button one too many times, trying to spam it to get the target in time, and it ends up breaking it himself. But it could have been a walkout either way. He doesn't succeed in getting the bailout on the Bristle, and they're just sent back for more death. So that was a 4,300 gold gain for Empire, and obviously substantial losses for Vici. Now, what items does that translate into, though? Resolution had only just recently finished the mech, now practically has a BKB. Gem of True Sight coming out for the Tide, along with his finished 4-staff. I mean, that's all really huge.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is when... Okay, they're going to be scouted out the Smoke of Deceit here. They have
they find him, they get the Gem Vision, and they're going to be able to bring down Ice. The big pickup here. Now they don't have to worry about the rat play. They can go in full offensive across the map, start getting de-warding and warding play down, and they're not going to be split pushed in the meantime.
Yeah, but always want to fly. When they do find these kills, always want to fly is the one getting picked up. Poor guy. It's just like, I want to ward. Please, team. Please. This is very unfortunate. He keeps dying. And I want to say the biggest thing is, as you're saying, the Necro Book strategy is really bad against the... Once you start seeing Empire's cores get online, then the Necro strategy does fall off here, and it could come to bite Ice in the butt here. Oh, they have vision of both.
Huge Ravage coming out! Quick Raise brings down the line, and locking him in the Static Storm. Super will pop his BKB. They're going to look for the bashes on the amplified damage, cutting through his armor quickly, but Hao's now in the fight with the Omni Slash, doing some large damage, but there's a Crush and a Requiem bringing Hao down, and now Super has to be relocated out. He's going to be taking too much damage here. The Glimpse comes out early. FY not going for the relocate just yet. Super getting crushed. Even with his back turn, he will go down, and now FY's in trouble, getting gushed, getting anchored, and now gonna be right-click down. Oh, another 4-man wipe. 5 if you count the early Ice kill, and he won't even get the vengeance.
Ice is here.
He looked for a play with the Necronomicon, and he almost got at least 1 revenge kill. Instead, everybody falls, and Empire are right back in this game.
Yeah, there was no relocate this time, and that Crush was pretty amazing coming in from Silent. You have to give credit to him. He made sure that the Juggernaut did not get off the spin right afterwards. That was excellently timed, and well, they were kind of like, all right, we can take this fight with Omni Slash, and then all of a sudden it wasn't enough damage, and then they were easily taking them down. So really well played from Empire, and as you're saying, they are definitely back into this game, clawing their way back up the mountain or down the mountain. I don't know which way it is. This is actually they're in a valley right now.
Yeah, they were on the radius side, so they're climbing this Everest, and they're finding a good opportunities. But it is worth mentioning this is a pretty good tri-core lineup for Vici Gaming to go late with. I think the big timing is going to be when Yoki finds a refresher orb. When you get double Ravage, you can secure your team fights a lot more effectively, especially as the Bristleback's BKB wears down to 5. I think that's going to be a big aspect. For now, we're seeing Midas on each side, 1 for 1, yeah. So Ice is probably going to go for BKB next. This is kind of his standard core item, and now needs to stay in the fight. Against the Kinetic Field, Static Storm, Requiem, and Ravage, you have to have a BKB. We're actually going to see Kinetic just trapping out some spiders here. Silent going to get nuked down heavily, but they haven't killed him yet, and a nice force stab fails him out. So Super's kind of going YOLO here, 1v5, and Silent is still going to walk away. He's going to go for the crush. It doesn't stun Super, and he will be going down. Resolution now on the run with 300 HP. Looks to turn it with a couple of raises, and a beautiful Kinetic Static will almost keep him alive. He gets out with the TP. Perfect usage of the BKB. Bottle 1, and with the bailout from Aloha Dance, they actually cut their losses in that position. So we see a lot of BKBs pop from both sides, and Roast will be going to Vici Gaming, but it could have been a lot worse for Empire.
Yeah, it should have been a lot worse for Empire. Once they missed the fail initiation onto Ice, they were like, oh, we think he's here, but instead he had perfect positioning, just staying on the right side of this hill, waiting out. And normally the thing is he was always here before, so, and then now he was over here this time. So it's like playing mind games the whole time for Ice. He's like, well, you burned me a lot of times over here on the left side of the hill, but this time I'm going to be on the right. And, well, so far, I think VG are definitely in the driver's seat now because they have the Aegis online for the Juggernaut. The BKB is on Super, but that's to 8 seconds now. He still is... I feel like Super still is an immortal. It still takes a long time for him to die.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously with the BKB up and the Crimson Guard active, like there's almost nothing that can directly damage him. So that's going to be the timing. Is they have to wait out those cooldowns, wait for those buffs to dispel, and then they're fine.
Over here.
How's actually going to take a lot of damage. He might lose the Aegis here. He's going to go in, get hit by the Anchor Smash, and a couple more right clicks, and he could have just shattered. But he finds his kill, and he will make his getaway, healing up with the healing
ward. They have vision of top up here of Aloha Dance. Was walking into the lane. This could be an easy relocate, but they do have a glimpse. He does have the Kinetic Field into the Static Storm. But if they do pop a BKB on Super, he will be able to run him down easily. Maybe not. You can Ghost Scepter TP. So I guess you would need another...
Yeah. I mean, the only one to stop the TP is like the Lion. So you have to relocate the Lion, and unfortunately, because the Omni Slash no longer cancels TPs. So... yeah, you don't really have an easy opening there with the relocate. Bring in the line. If you had Finger, yeah, I think those two supports could actually just bring down the Disruptor outright. But without it, that's the Ghost TP you're talking about. So, oh man, I don't know. At this point, it's still not Vici Gaming like out of this game or anything. It looks like they're timing out the Roshan pretty clearly from both sides, but it could be a big jump. They still have that gem, and Ice goes in the trees.
Oh, if the courier's gonna go back over it.
Oh man, but I always want to fly going down to the spiders, and I'll just spike the AoE damage. Oh, at least they'll bring down Ice. He is caught out by the courier in the tree line, and although they didn't want to lose the AA there, it's definitely worth it to find the spider.
I mean, look at his net worth, 800.
I looked at that like 10 minutes ago. It was 800.
He's 1-9, man. He's just a walking hero. But this is probably the second best hero in the game to be low leveled on, right? You can AA blast. You have CM for the CM aura. The levels are always nice, but
who's the best then?
Yeah, Zeus. Maybe Zeus is kind of good for the ultimate.
I like it. I think Abaddon is actually pretty reliable.
He's pretty good too.
No item hero, but we're gonna see Super actually fight it with his BKB here, trying to turn it with the Bristleback, but realizes that the Quill Spray isn't gonna stack up fast enough. They can just kite away from him, and that's just gonna be a BKB charge for a BKB charge. At this point, whose charges do you think are more valuable, the Bristlebacks or the Slardars?
I think Slardars, because you always have the Wisp relocate to bail you out. But for Slardar, he has to be in the front line all the time. Whereas Bristleback, he's so much tankier than Slardar. Until Silent gets the Assault Caress, yeah, you're going to see him pick up the Hyperstone just now. He has to go this item, and then maybe afterwards he goes into a Desolator. Like, if they can get a ton of minus armor on the side of Empire, because they do have the Shadow Fiends Necromastery to work with so far, that's -6. They get the Assault up, maybe get a Shivas after the Refresher on Yoki, then they're in business. Then they'll have the armor advantage heavily on their side.
Yeah. This may be a silly question, but where in the world is the Vladimir's offering? Like, we see that there's a Ring of Aquila on the Juggernaut, but neither side having a Vlad's, and I feel like it's a pretty big aspect of this game.
VG needs a Vlad's. Empire, they do not. I mean, it's ranged heroes. You do want the Vlads eventually, but I think Assault over it and Shivas and all this. And because Always Wanna Fly is so poor, he can't actually do anything. So Aloha Dance going for the Eggs, I agree with that more than going for Vlads on him. For VG side, yeah, this is just really weird not having a Vlad.
It's a double damage rune on Juggernaut. How is gonna just annihilate anybody he finds with this Omni Slash, and he's gonna go right in. Pops the Mask of Madness, looking for our target. It's gonna be here in the middle. Resolution getting stunned out, but How going in, destroying the supports. A nice Ghost Scepter from Aloha Dance. Silent actually almost dies to the Juggernaut outright, but without a spin, he'll get the crush and make his way out. So it's just gonna be the death of the Ancient Apparition and a BKB TP from Resolution. So obviously still favorable for Vici, but man, that Ghost Scepter, a lifesaver here for the Disruptor.
Yeah, 3 BKBs were popped during that team fight, 2 from Empire, 1 from VG, so I would say this is a great time for VG to go high ground. Oh, nice. I mean, you really can't go in on Finra onto Yoki there. They don't have... If they had the Omni Slash, sure, they could have maybe bursted down Yoki, but still with that, they kind of can't push the high ground. That's a lot of their burst damage coming out. It's the Finger as well as the Omni Slash. When both of those, or both of those are on cooldown right now, so it's really hard for them to get through Empire's kite ability, right? The Force Staff from Yoki has been great this game. He will have a glimpse, but he could just spin it off here.
Yeah. So they're not going to find an opening or any kind of counter kills. In fact, there's actually going to be some decent wards coming out from Vici Gaming in the retreat. Actually, I've liked the wards a lot so far this game. They had some good wards kind of in this juncture on the standard western side of the Radiant Jungle, had some up on the high ground towards the Secret Shop. And now they get this one that's, even with the gem, might not be spotted. Like, you can still get a good amount of vision through these paths here, and you can walk by that with a gem, and if you're not paying close attention, still miss out on it.
Yeah, it's been really good that Yoki hasn't died too much. They've kept their gem for like 10 minutes, and this has been really good. Oh, he actually knows he's right there too. Always want to fly if he should.
They want him so bad.
Right vortex spot. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, he just
they see it.
No,
The glimpse
no.
doesn't find him. Oh.
It was like on the high ground. It's kind of. I thought he'd do it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Doesn't catch him out. Ice getting a lucky break here, and he will be making his way to that BKB next. So like you said, we're seeing the AC being the high priority item for both sides here. Bristleback already has his. Slardar making his way there with his next maybe 2,000 gold. It's still a pretty expensive item. He has the Hyperstone, so that's the most important thing. Yeah, but he still needs about 2k to finish it all off. So we'll see that picked up a little bit later, but the first and foremost item is what I primed a little bit for earlier. This Refresher Orb on Yoki could just straight up win them the game.
Yeah, it really does depend on the positioning of where everybody is in the fight. Wisp can relocate, people have to save. So far, VG's had the Aegis control. They will have most likely the third one too. That'll be the Cheese coming along with it. You can see Ice going for a BKB. He'll have it here shortly too. So they're going to have 2 BKBs, a Wisp relocate, and Aegis with Cheese, most likely. So Empire, it's going to be... Yeah, it's really all on Yoki kind of initiating the fight as well as counter initiation, because you have all these BKBs, so you have to wait until they're really low or, until they're gone.
So, one thing that I kind of thought about with the newest patch, and I'm not sure if it's viable here, but what do you think about maybe going a Silver Edge on the Juggernaut? If you get a Blink Hex, or even like a precasted Hex to immediately disable Yoki when he tries to go for initiation, and you can actually Silver Edge off the Kraken Shell and make it so that that Hex is what he dies within. You can actually consider a Tidehunter a viable first kill target when that used to be impossible thanks to Kraken Shell. Do you think Silver Edge is a viable play here, or does it require too much coordination and too many stars to align?
I don't think it's the bad idea. I just think Shadow Blading in when they have a gem, you're normally not going to get it off unless you can pop the... Normally you want to initiate with the item. I'm just going to hold everything because it looks like they're going to get initiated on.
Really nice flank coming in from Vici Gaming. We're going to see Super taking the brunt of the force now. He'll BKB off the amp damage, and Fenrir getting the crit. Almost keep him alive. Silent will run him down, and the tether will be broken by FY. The Resolution pops the Manta style, now going for the Requiem, but he dies before it gets off. Yoki's still holding the Ravage. Where is it? There! The Ravage finally comes, but there's no follow-up. How... And Ice gonna run down Yoki. Disruptor gets the TP away, but Yoki is going down, is losing the gem, and might be losing mid-racks. At this point, it's such a critical team fight. And Even it doesn't. I mean, I'm not
gems.
worried about the gems. I'm worried about their base. At this point, Ravage is unavailable,
Okay, they
and
don't have
even if Tide
buybacks.
buys back,
I thought they had buyback
they
on
can't
Shadow
hold.
Fiend. No, that's really big, not having that. The healing mode is up. They're all back to full HP, and
Radiant structures
I look for the silver lining with the gems, but it does not matter at all, as you're saying. This might be 2 sets of Raxes as well.
Yeah, we're gonna see tier 3 go down already. Melee racks now being pressured directly. That AC melting the armor of the melee barracks while Silent builds it up with his own. Kind of item countering each other. But we're gonna see actually Silent force back for the moment, spinning to damage the racks that way. But in the end, they won't get the range racks, and they are gonna gradually try to rotate or retreat out. Going for the BKB
Bash,
TP.
bash.
Gonna be actually stunned.
Oh.
Super now in an awkward spot. Might force a relocate play from FY. Super very, very low on HP, but how going in hard. They're gonna go finger down the disruptor, and the Shadow Fiend only just respawned. Now we'll see the racks go down and a TP canceled. FY gonna be bouncing back with that relocate all the way back to the fountain, and with that is gonna be a 1 full lane of racks going to Vici Gaming here at such a critical time in the game.
Yeah, it was just all set up by, I want to say, the Omni Slash. They really needed to get somebody to help Resolution out in these team fights. He keeps on getting Omni Slash. He didn't get his Manta because he got immediately hexed, and then so he and then stunned, and he wasn't able to get off his Manta style at the beginning of the ultimate. So he popped his Manta when he already had 400 HP left in his BKB, and so he was already out of the fight. And they used a Tide Ravage when they have no physical DPS. Silent did the right thing to go kill the supports off. You really need to kill off the Lion, but it's just, I don't know, man. Especially with the Aegis now and the Cheese, still VG are in a commanding lead here, and they really do need this refresher ASAP if they want to even hold this next push.
Yeah. So it's good that the in a way, it's nice that the Tide didn't have to buy back in order to try to defend that position, because the refresher is critical for their win condition here. But yeah, he buys out for it, and I think it's actually more valuable than buyback. It just means he has to make sure that it counts. Maybe going in just a smoke play to try to unveil this with a flourish, because it's so critical that this refresher does work.
I mean, look at, okay, Ice has 7,000 gold. He's just a bank walking.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I don't.
Where's the? I mean, he can finish the BKB at least.
He just did that
okay,
now. But the biggest thing for me is the buybacks from VG still too. They have they have like 6 lives right now, potentially 7 if you say the Cheese counts as 1, and then potentially 9 with the Wisp buying back, relocating. He has, and the Cheese is on Wisp too, so he can heal up somebody immediately as well as himself. There's just so many plays they can do where once the Tide Ravage is on cooldown, they have to get a team wipe while not losing that many heroes too, because as I'm saying, they can just buy back, run down mid, and then it's GG. Because with Empire having no Ravages, it's just very hard to fight. That's why normally in these later stages of the game, sure, Tide's great hero, but if you have buybacks and you didn't kill everyone on the team, then
Oh, Ravage initiation here onto FY, and Super immediately kills off the Wisp, and now focus that bristle back down so quickly, shattering him and forcing out that Aegis. But Fenrir pops some good damage, and the Omni Slash will bring Yoki down. There's no second Ravage for this fight, so Super now has a chance to try to turn around. How gets a double kill on the southern end, easily finishing off the Ancient Apparition, but they actually get the bash on Resolution. They will kill off the Shadow Fiend. Such a huge kill. He does have buyback this time. In the meantime, Al's in the base, killing everyone. He kills off all 3 of them, finishing off the Disruptor. I mean, yeah, after you kill the Tide, it seems like the Disruptor and the Ancient Apparition are easy pickings. You just wait up the Ghost Scepter, you run them down, and there you are. But still killing off all 4 heroes might just be this full top lane. How controlling the backline and getting the easy picks on the heroes that he can nearly 3-shot, and Bristleback doing the hard work and getting the lucky bash to make it a win here, thanks to the Shadow Fiend's death. They're gonna buy back on the Shadow Fiend, but they don't have time to wait for the Ravage. There's no glyph, and they have to go now.
Yep, good initiation and BKB.
Resolution bashed up. Oh, he's taking too much damage here. No cooldowns yet. No mech. No BKB. Resolution will be going down, and that is going to be the game. Losing everybody. Silent, desperate for a kill. There's going to be another Ravage, Anchor Smash, and the Crush coming out. But is it going to be enough?
Nope, bad
The
gaming.
Static Storm, the Kinetic Field, doing good damage to Vici Gaming, but in the end, Super is way too tanky. How gets away. All 6 racks are down, and that is GG for game number 1.
Yep. I would just say that VG, even though they were coming back from Empire side, just Aegis, Cheese, and all the BKBs on their side is just way too much of an advantage. They really shut down Resolution hard in the early game. Ice Ice get levels. They shut down the Ty. They stole his stack, which basically crippled their early game aggression, trying to get him a fast Blink Dagger. And then, yeah, they just played the musical chairs, as I was talking about, perfectly. I think